wipe that shit down?
Yeah.
Come on, why is it ain't going live? Oh, we are live. All right. So we're just having a regular conversation about how much stuff you have to pack. Do I have comments on? Yeah, comments is on. All right. So we were talking about Ed was talking about buying some helmets.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So I was thinking of buying some helmets to create this display that I'm trying to do.
Yo.
But I believe Ross said that it's not necessary, right? Not to have that many helmets. Because I think I was thinking just having a bunch of helmets and just displaying them, displaying my artwork. I haven't done this in a minute, so I don't know, maybe about what? About 14 years. I think I did one time within those 14 years, but it was a disaster, and I didn't have no samples. So yeah. Um. So you guys think it's necessary to have like a real nice display, or because I remember it was like 2010 the last time, 2014. I mean, sorry, 2018, 8. Damn, I'm nervous, guys. I don't know what's going on with me.
What you nervous about?
I don't know. I can't even think straight. My numbers are all over the place.
Um, this I say that like I was telling you earlier. I think the more stuff you got to pack, the more stuff you have to carry. It's like
Right.
um, you have to carry all of that extra stuff that you have that that you don't need. You have to
Mm.
pack it up, put it in your car. Um, then you have to um, hold on, what I'm looking for. Yeah. Then you have to unload it. Then you gotta load it. Then you have to unload it and all of that stuff, man. It's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just easier. Like I take two tables, sometimes just one table, and my easel to paint, my head to paint. All that stuff is all in my box. A tent, two tables, and my easel, air compressor. That's it. That's all I
Hmm.
need. But you trying to take all this extra stuff that you don't need.
Well, I remember when I was going, it was very simple. Maybe my prices were a little bit too high, but like I said, I was losing my entry fee, I was losing gas, and I wasn't making any money. So, and it was like the simplest way that I could possibly make it. Yet it wasn't working out. So I'm thinking if I go back, I'm gonna have more options. You know what I mean? Just more color, more, for it to stand out more than it was before.
But see, more the more the more options you have, I feel is it takes away more time to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah.
time is money. So
Right.
the less stuff they have to see, the less their choices, the quicker you can get it done and get it knocked out. That's
Right.
how I see it.
Right. Yeah.
What's up,
Uh,
Herbert?
Herbert.
Give me a minute. Trying
Oh,
to
you work.
close one window and get the other one open. What's up?
Going on. We're talking
That's
about how
good.
much stuff you really need when you go live or go out at events or whatnot.
If I go to an event, I mean, because I used to do it, but I don't do it anymore. Um, like you said, carry as little as possible. You need really good displays. I used to have mine mounted on the foam core. That way I could put them on the grid with clamps and then, get them up faster. But other than that, I mean, keep it simple. The lighter you pack,
Yeah.
the faster you close.
Yep.
Because the
Right.
other
Yeah.
thing, I know at certain fairs, the later it gets at night, and especially if it's the last part of the week of the fair, you got jump out boys that'll come, jump, steal the money in the register. If you come
True.
to fight them, you're going to fight about 6 or 7 guys. So it's easy to pack light and keep it pushing.
Yep. Yep. Because like I said, it's like the more you have to pack up to put in your car to go to the event, then you got to unload all that stuff. Then you got to set all that stuff up. Then you got to work all day, maybe 8-10 hours. Then at the end of the night, you got to unpack. You got to pack all that stuff back down. You got to load it back in your car, put it back in your, take it all the way home and unpack it. That's too much stuff. It's just quick and simple. And the faster you set, and time is money. Time is money all the time.
I did notice that I was making more sales when I had the set like the
light setup,
the canopy, and the designs in the back. Then when I had the trailer, the trailer was, maybe my trailer wasn't as set up like sideways. It was kind of like that little open back door.
Did you have anything on the top of the trailer?
I did. I had like a shade, but I had my designs on the side.
Because most of the guys I know that go to fairs, they use that as something where they can plop up a really like 4x8 sheet of wood with their samples on it with lights, because they find that lights attract people.
Yeah, like mosquitoes or bugs.
Yeah.
But see, airbrushing is the show. It's about the show. People like to watch it. People want to see what, But when I had my truck, I didn't have I had a display outside, and I still got a lot of people coming up to the window.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess because it was the food truck. People food.
I remember having to take out my easel outside and paint outside instead of inside the trailer. And I noticed that there were, I had a bigger crowd.
Yeah. It's about the show, I think.
Yeah.
It's about the show, but I mean, once you get them to the window, it's all about the sale. Yeah. So the show is only half the battle. So if you get them there, stop them there. Now it's time to get your salesperson, pull them in, and keep it pushing.
Yeah. Well, that's the one part. But like you want all those baseball helmets, like they do a baseball tournament.
Yeah.
I haven't put out baseball helmets in years. I don't
really
play. Like if whenever I do a helmet, I will put it out and people will come look at it. But to have it out on a display for people to come over to the thing, I haven't did that in years. And I like I said, all I have is my flip rack out there, and they'll come over to the flip rack and go through the flip rack.
Now let me ask you a question, Ralph. Do you feel like if you had not necessarily a helmet as a display, but a display that showed the different designs that they could have on the helmets, like in little squares, you think that would help?
I have it on a flip rack. I have mine in a flip rack.
Okay, so you do have samples and squares. It's just on that flip rack.
Yeah. Like I was showing you this earlier.
Are we having fun yet?
We have a physical display that's falling apart. But see, I used to have this, right? They have shell helmets I cut in half, and I would paint designs on them, and I would have this for people to look at. That was just something extra. But I don't even use this anymore. I mean, it's like it's on the helmet. It's the back, the sides, and it's just helmets that I spliced in half and made these designs and made a display. But I haven't used this none in the last 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
Do
you think it's because people know you already?
Well, every time you go to an opening day, it's new people. It's new people, new kids.
Oh, okay.
Because it's starting all over from the 6U. Some people do know you, but some people don't. So it's just, I guess it's just like Herbert said with the lights. The flip rack is like something that draws everybody to the flip rack, and then they go through the flip rack.
Yeah.
And they ask the questions from there. But it's having all those helmets and stuff out there. You got to pack all that stuff up, man.
Yeah.
So it's a pain. And that's like
I was thinking maybe.
Go ahead.
I was thinking maybe having 2 flip racks, because you'd be having 2 people, right? Yeah.
I would say at least have like 1 or 2 helmets so that they can see what it looks like on an actual helmet. And that might be the issue, with some people, because you got to realize with some parents that come up, the younger you look, the less they feel comfortable, and whether or not you're experienced. When you look older, it's kind of like, well, he looks like you've been paying for a minute, so probably he knows how to paint his helmet. So I mean, that'd be my only other critique of the situation.
Yeah, because when I was painting, they wanted my brother to paint, and he's not even an airbrush artist. I was the airbrush artist.
Is he younger or older?
No, he's younger than me, but he looks older than me.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, I remember that.
If you want to have two different things, it's like you can put a book on the table.
Okay.
Like this that has like designs in it. If you want to do this, so it was like have different designs with the pricing on it.
Nice.
It's just something else that they can look at while they're looking at the flip rack. I don't even take this out there.
Oh, really?
No, I don't even take this out there anymore. Because it's like, it's too many options and they taking up more time sitting up there talking. And, oh, do you want? Because nowadays they ask their little kid, you want this? You like this? Instead of like making a decision for the little kid.
I think it's also about your salesperson, either your salesperson or your sales technique. Because typically what I'll do is I'll be like, well, look around. And they look for a second. That gives me a second to kind of close out what I'm doing that I'm working on. But then once I turn back around, it's like they'll go, I don't know. And I have 250 designs that are on the wall. So I start with simple questions. So do you want like something that's more like a souvenir? Is this for a kid or an adult? Narrow down the questions that they're going to probably ask you anyway.
Right.
So is this for a girl or is this for a boy? Is this more because he's a good batter? Is he a good pitcher? Is he a good catcher? What is it that you want to say with what you're putting on the helmet? And by asking these questions, narrowing down what they want, they feel like they're making decisions, even though you're steering them into what you want them to buy.
Yeah. Like Party said, it's what he said, the basic menu. Just give them the basic menu.
Yeah. See, I have issues with those trying to sell something.
Most artists do, but you've got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your product, and you got to say, okay, if nobody else does this, I don't make any money today, and I want to eat, and I want a roof over my head.
Right.
So who's going to learn this? Me, and just deal with it, or am I going to hire someone? Which means now you lose a little bit more profit, but you might gain some depending on how much traffic you get. If you get a lot of traffic, it's great because at least then you've got somebody that can handle that, so you can just keep focused on what you're doing. But the thing is, make sure that your salesperson is properly trained, they're educated, they should be able to answer the majority of the questions when people walk up, and basically help them to understand it's faster if you help them make choices. So if they say, well, I don't know what to put on the helmet. Well, what are you thinking about putting on the helmet? Do you want just the name, or do you want some kind of graphic? And they'll go, well, I'd like both. Great. Now they've made a decision. Now you can begin from there. Well, if you want graphics on it, do you want it on the left and the right? Or do you want one on the front or on the back? Oh, well, I like left and right. Can we put the name on the front? Now they've made the decision and you've steered them exactly where you need them to be. And then you go, great. So if I understand this correctly, we put the name on the front, we're putting the graphic on the left, putting the graphic on the right. We're talking about $80. Is that going to be good enough? Great. If that's too much, then hey, well, let's do this. Let's just eliminate one of the graphics. We'll do something on the front and something on the back. That'll be $50. Is that okay? Is that more in your budget? Great. Let's go ahead and bring you up.
You gotta like Paul said, you gotta hold their hand. You gotta kind of like talk them and coach them through the whole event. Now, if you got a good salesperson and you ain't got to do all of that, and sometimes you do have to have the salesperson be able to like upsell a little bit.
Okay.
Like, oh, you want lightning? Then okay, lightning is a little extra $5 maybe, or you want something else on it. It's all about the sale. You gotta have a good salesperson too. Like you said, you gotta coach them through it.
Right. And if you've got a line, those upsells are impeding on the other sales. So my thing is close out this sale. Let's get to the next sale, because the longer they wait, the less likely they'll go, well, it's getting late. I don't want to wait for so long. I can hear him
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
So upselling, yes, is the wonderful thing to do in the very beginning when there's probably nobody in line. But once a line starts, now it's let's get these sales going. You know, if anything, once you see a line, if nobody thinks they can wait past 2 hours, make the announcement. Hey, just want to let you know we're backed up. We're trying to get through these as quickly as possible. Hey, I'll let you know it's going to be at least 2 hours. Get the people out of the line that don't want to wait because they're just wasting your salesperson's time.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Get the people who actually want to buy, get them moving, get them up front. And so they already know when they get to the counter, oh, I'm going to be waiting 2 hours. So that's not even a discussion anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I'm with y'all. I got to work at the same time. I got jobs to do.
No problem.
I'm working on something now, but I don't. I'm at the point where it's just like, let me get this done before 5. I can probably get it clear coded and out for tomorrow at least.
What you got? What you working on?
I'm working on this skateboard for the Dukes of Hazzard. Let's see. Hold on.
Oh wow.
Nice.
General Lee, huh? Oh, that's nice. They got a skate on that?
No, they're just gonna hang it on their wall.
Oh.
Nice.
Ain't old boy in trouble right now. For
So that's the new Charger that somebody made up like General Lee, and then they got the old General Lee, and I'm pretending like, I know about Daisy Dukes and all that, so I can get it out.
You don't know nothing about Daisy?
Well, I mean, I used to look at Daisy Dukes, and I've glimpsed at the Dukes of Hazzard, but they got a whole different rebel call than what I want to listen to.
Yeah, too short. I'll turn it so.
But yeah, I would say really it's about sales, the salesperson.
Yeah.
Your samples need to reflect. Can you hear me over the compressor? Or no?
Can you hear?
I can.
Oh, okay.
I hear both of you.
Make sure that your samples reflect the level of work you can do. If you want to put like 1 or 2 like super customs up there, so like if somebody rides a motorcycle, they'll get in contact with you later to do a motorcycle helmet. You could do that. I mean, because the idea is to utilize the time that you're there. Yes, you're there to do helmets, but really what you're doing is you're doing more marketing.
Right.
And you're marketing towards customers that will hopefully be there for you in the future. So have cards available. If they can't get the helmet done today, hey, I'm sorry we can't get it done today. Here's my card. You can always mail it to me and I'll mail it right back to you. Or hey, this is my card. This is the address. This is where my brick and mortar is. I'm there so-and-so to so-and-so from 9 to 5. Hit me up then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was thinking of maybe taking a helmet that it's clear with automotive.
Yeah, I just finished, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so people can see the difference.
So you
Maybe upsell or take it home.
Right,
and
but are you going to be able to clear code automotive while you're there? And how much is that going to stop you when you're in the middle of a rush?
Right.
Yeah.
True. No, I will have to take it home, and I'm sure they need it they don't want to wait like a week.
Exactly. So once you tell them, hey, we can clear with automotive. This is the difference. This is how much longer it's going to last. It's great. Oh, it's going to take another day. No, we can't do that. So it's like waving a carrot in front of somebody, and then they just can't. It's not obtainable.
Right.
So maybe that's something that if you're dead slow, do you want me to put automotive on it at a different time? And I'd have to hold on to the helmet. Like if you're not in a rush for the helmet, I can clear coat it and I can bring it back tomorrow.
I don't offer that. I'm straight.
But I definitely keep everything there. Rattle can clear, bing bang, because that's going to be your best bang for the buck. Because you got to figure every minute you're there is money either coming or going. Yeah. And then you just have to decide whose pocket it's going to be in, yours or somebody else's.
Right. Do you guys provide helmets?
No.
No.
You know how many helmets you would have to carry to be out there dealing with everybody head size? That's like carrying all the shoes
Right.
for people.
And so you
I
guys
mean,
clear
if
them on
they're
the spot,
coming,
right?
if they're coming to the event, why wouldn't they have a helmet for their child that's batting?
Yeah. True.
Yeah,
You know, now the only problem I could see is if they're going to play a game and they like, well, it's another hour before the game starts. Can you have it done in an hour?
Mm.
That could be an issue because by the time you get it done, clear coated, it may not be dry, and depending on how bad they abuse it, you know, all that dirt and everything's going to be embedded in there.
From the time I grab the helmet to the time I sit it down to clear, it's 15, 20 minutes on any design I do. And
does that include the dry time for the clear?
If it's sunny and hot outside, it's 5 minutes to dry for the clear. This Texas
is that hard enough though before they throw it down? And
yep, they can put it on and go play in it.
Wow.
It must be a thin layer of clear.
15, 20 minutes.
Thin layer of
clear. I have people coming up to me now that I've done their helmet 3 and 4 years ago. Their helmets still look the same. Just a couple little stuff.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is little kids, so I mean, how much damage are they doing to their helmet?
Not that much. There's not. I mean, you'll see them throw it and kick it, but it's like you'll see the scuff marks in it, but it's not like bad.
Right.
The only problem is that as soon as you set it down, you're done painting, and you set it down, you have to stop the parents from grabbing it or the kid from grabbing it. Give it 5 minutes to dry. You know, especially if it's hot outside. We got hot, humid, so our stuff dries fast out here. But the only problem is keeping people from grabbing it before the 5 minute time is up, because then they'll grab it and scratch it, and like I would worry about the kids that have gouges in the sides of their helmets. I still paint it; they still be fine. I don't mind painting used helmets. It's the same. It's the same job. Just got to scuff it up, scuff it, wash it, and go at it. That's how I am anyway.
How do you guys deal with like runs?
Runs as far as what, the clear?
Like clear, yeah.
They look real pretty. We charge extra for those.
Yeah. Hey, it takes talent to do that, bro.
No, just try like thin layers. You're just doing thin layers. You're not trying to like just thin, quick layers to get something on there, let it get tacky, and then go ahead and put your second layer on there, and hopefully it shouldn't run. Yeah, if it does run, then now you know. So the only thing you can do then is just let it go. I mean, for what they're paying, you know, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna make the helmet look like glass?
Right.
But I mean, even at $100, you know, in a baseball helmet, I mean, you think the parents are really looking for this crystal ball, you know, super shiny helmet? I mean,
the first thing they'll ask you is it clear coated? And you say, yeah, that's that clear that you saw me spraying on there. That's the clear coat. Give it a few minutes to sit there, and you're fine to go. Can she play with it? Yep, she can play with it. As soon as 5 minutes is up, you can grab it. She can go play with it.
I've had paint that have like a lot of debris, a lot of dry paint, and it shows on the helmet like really, really bad.
Are you saying the paint that comes out of your supply?
Yeah.
Dry paint?
How old is the paint?
I ain't never had that.
Pretty old.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
This is what I would recommend. Take your supply, filter it, rinse out this bottle, and then put it back in. Especially if it's, I'd say at least 6 months or older, it doesn't hurt. A year, definitely. 3 years, yeah.
Some people say 3 years. Somebody said they strain it. Who strains their paint?
That's what I'm saying. Filter, strain, same thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I started like using my paint more now, but I did have that issue back then.
Hey, I see you got some samples. What do you think?
Oh, I haven't had a chance to play with them because this is the second skateboard that this guy has brought me. So I haven't finished. I finished the first one. Now I'm working on the second one. So I'm sorry. I really want to get down to with ETAC and see what it's doing. But money come first. Money come first. So right now, I'm just trying to get it all situated so I can then, sit down and really, think about what I want to do as far as like some kind of test to make sure that, it is what it needs to be and it's
Yeah.
fair.
Now,
And it's a critique, not I just don't like it. No, like a real,
you're gonna give a real test.
yeah, something that's helpful, not just a couple of like.
You gonna do the wash test and all of that?
Huh?
Wash test.
Yeah, I'll do a wash test. Wash test. Sun fading is the big thing because I do a lot of tags. Not as many. I do more T-shirts, but still tags are getting up there. So I need to make sure that they don't like fade or it disappears because I've had some issues with some that have really been sun bleached out.
The white. I want to know about the white.
Yeah, and then we talked about the caps too. We talked about the caps because I'm more of a snap cap because that way you don't have as much paint that dries right here. This is your area where your paint dries, and he has more of a twisted cap. So basically, from the point where the openings are on the bottle to where the cap that seals it sits like a glue, like a Elmer's glue back in the day. Where that paint sits will be all dry paint. So that's kind of like that's a small thing, but still, it could be an issue.
They have that little hole. It has a little hole in the
right, because that's the only place where your paint can dry. But when you have a twisted cap, then you talk about like if you remember Elmer's glue, remember how hard it was to like clean that thing out of glue?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're talking about basically now you've got a contaminant that is going to fall back into your supply.
Yeah.
And the question is, from the time you close that twisted cap to the time you reopen it again, how bad is it going to be?
I'm interested to find out once you put your study your Harvard study together.
Oh no, you didn't.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a Harvard study. I ain't got time like that. But I do want to give it a fair shake. My premier reason for using Createch is two things. I've never had a big clump of Createch like I've seen in Aquaflow, and I've had several different batches and several different people have big clumps. I know other people have had issues with Createch. And then they have a reducer that works really well with it. And I put less than an ounce in it just to break it up a little bit to make it flow through the brush.
Major problems with Createx. With I buy a red, and then it's like a big hunk in the middle of the bottle. And it's like,
how long? Who do you get your supply through?
Texas Art Supply here local.
How long has that paint been? Because I would say they probably aren't getting a good circulation of paint because more than likely that's that fungus that grows in red typically. And I bet that paint has been sitting there for so long that it's got that fungus in it.
That's possible. I can't smell, so I don't know. Some people are like, damn it, that paint state. Like,
yeah, I would say find a different supplier that that has more circulation in their paint so you can get fresher paint.
Hold up. Hey, Paulie, you must don't know. You didn't look at the last podcast? Chino owns ETAC now. Bill Edwards don't own ETAC anymore. Chino owns it.
Nope. Chino got it. Big Chino.
So
he's going to take over the market. Here it comes, people. Y'all ready?
Chino's ETAC.
Chino's going to be selling T-shirts, hats. He's going to sell everything you need. One-stop shop.
One-stop shop.
Did you guys see his samples? The picture he posted?
I've got a set.
Oh, cool. The samples.
Yeah, I bought a set of samples of specific colors that I use. So
Oh, you sell them?
yeah, he's selling them.
I need to get some.
Stop by there on my way to Sacramento.
But it sounds like because Chino is an artist, he's going to be able to give a product that is going to be more suited for the artist. And he's going to understand when you call and you're going to be like, hey, what's going on with this? It's not going to be like the paint is his baby. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
Bill, I think I said some things to Bill, and I think Bill just kind of took it the wrong way. So I just left it alone and I moved on. I mean, I'm quite sure I wasn't going to really make a dent in Bill's pocket, so he didn't care.
Man. You know what they say about Toyota, right? They listen to their customers. So
Right.
you know what
I mean,
They
and that's my thing is that I think having an artist dealing with the paint and talking about how it's smooth, how it's creamy, and the texture, a chemist may not get that. He may not be able to say, okay, what am I adding to this to make it creamy and smooth and flow better? You know what I mean? So that could be an issue. You know, I know already talking to Chino, there's a difference between extender and reducer. And my understanding from dealing with tube acrylic paint, is an extender extends the life of the paint where it doesn't dry as quick.
Yeah.
And extender or reducer reduces the density of the paint. So I'm hoping that his extender doesn't extend the life or the wetness of the paint. I need it to reduce the density of the paint.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Better flow.
Right. Right. And that's
Okay,
one thing you might want to think about doing. You might want to, since your paint is a little older, you might think about buying like maybe a couple of ounces of reducer just to kind of put a couple of drops in there, like you know, in your supply, not in the paint.
Yeah,
and that just will help make it flow a little bit.
You got that?
Yeah, well, my E-Tech is still pretty good, but I was just referring to like what used to happen to me, and it was at the time it was what Cratex. That's what I was having issues with.
Right.
So, what kind of designs are you trying to do for your display? See, it does. Like I told you, I think a lot of the customers make your designs for you. They come in and order something. That's how I feel.
I was thinking maybe like a baseball with some ponytails and like a skull. Pretty much the typical.
Well, it's time to do your homework because this is where your money is. This is your bread and butter. So if you're not going to do your homework, who is?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Wait till you show up?
Or I could hit up Kelly
Ralph?
with his
Ralph got what, 250 helmet designs?
I got quite a bit. You want to buy some stencil pack? You want to buy some stencils?
Yeah, I guess some stencils.
But it's the
it's a marketing campaign.
Yeah, I should have had
Who knew?
On the bottom. Hey, buy my stencils.
I got a couple of sketches, just keep it in my own
you need to turn those sketches into some samples right quick.
Yeah.
No, for real.
Put them on some Paylon. When is this event supposed to go down?
I don't have no event, but I'm trying to come back, give it a shot again.
I mean, like you find your fair or something. A lot of these.
I was just thinking going back to the swap meet.
I think your area that you're in dictates your designs. You can't be in a suburban area and do Chicano designs.
Right.
Just say or ghetto design, black ghetto designs. I think the area you're in, you have to choose your designs.
Right. Yeah. I think it's. Yeah, because there was a guy that had Chicano designs and he was selling way more than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
It depends on what are the demographics of the swap meet. Yeah. I mean, as far as the people coming in and out. I mean, if it is more Hispanic people coming in and out, then it makes sense just to have, more Mexican or Hispanic designs. Because they want to show their pride.
True.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any urban designs in my
Okay.
in, in my flea market location. But I also don't have, you know, I don't have any rebel flags. And
No.
that's just a personal preference. But I'm quite
Yeah.
sure if I put more rebel flags up, I probably get more people just would want rebel flags. But
Yeah.
I'm not down with that.
And,
Right.
and then
Yeah, and
the
that,
other, don't let them dictate your designs. Like, don't have gangbanger designs up there. Just stand by your.
No,
I don't do
no.
gangbanger. I don't do
yeah.
guns. I don't do guns and pictures.
Yeah, see, I don't do that stuff either, and they try to intimidate me, but I gotta,
You never
hold
did a
my
rebel
ground,
flag, Paulie? I think I've done one. I done one rebel flag, but I charged the shit out of them. You want it, you gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
I had someone ask me to do a swastika.
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asked to do one of those too on a bike.
And I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're like, no, I'm asking you, would you, do a swastika? I'm like, no, I'm good. You can move along now.
Yeah.
They were like, well, what if I paid you? I was like, no, we're good. Enjoy your day, sir.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't do it for personal reasons, and they were like, but I want the what was it? It was gang related, but I want the gang related stuff. It's
Yeah.
not you. I was
I'm
like, it
paying
doesn't
you.
matter,
I'm paying
but
you.
yeah, I'm paying you, and I was like, yeah, but I don't want to take part of that.
Yeah.
With all
Right,
respect.
because they'll take over your booth quick,
You
fast, in
gotta
a
stand
hurry.
Oh
by
yeah,
it. Yeah.
definitely.
And then they'll keep everybody else away from your booth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Once you
because
pay-
that becomes their territory.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't let them cater to dictate what you do. You gotta
Right.
just stand by it. Even if you gotta start fighting it, you gotta just knuckle up, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. It happened one time, and man, that really like I kind of like stopped airbrushing for a month, man. It was pretty bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah, you can't do that, man.
Guy wanted to pay me whatever he wanted to pay me. Like, no, this is my prices. It's like, come on, man. I was like, I can't. And then he still paid me whatever he wanted, and I was counting the money. And then he's like, what? And I was like, dang. And then I was like, yeah, but you still owe me, man. And then his buddy just kind of ended up paying me the rest. And I was like, this ain't happening again.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about that shit. You should have just punched him in the face, dude.
I should what?
Punched him in the face.
Nah, man. This guy was big.
It is worth the scuffle, man. If anything, mock it up to experience and call it a day, and be like, all right, next person comes up, just not do it at all. Just like, we're good, man.
Yeah.
And then when he goes, well, why won't you do it? He'd be like, talk to your homeboy. You know why?
Yeah. he probably told him, oh yeah, just half-ass him. He'll be all right with it.
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta watch it.
True.
All right, well, it's been good. I gotta go get something to eat. It's lunchtime.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta get to work.
I gotta pretend like I want to do these cars.
I hear you. I gotta come back. I got 3 black shirts I gotta do. Yeesh.
What? Black shirt?
Man, somebody came in with 8 black Dickie shirts. I gotta do those too by Friday. But
What a
y'all
nightmare.
do today. The other ones do today.
Yeah.
Our graphics. 11030.
I need to look for that good white though. If I'm gonna do black shirts.
Well, actually, I'd recommend if you can get like a good top coat, because I find that it's so much easier to put that top coat on there.
Yeah.
Press it, put another layer of top coat, press it, put another layer, press it.
Oh, okay.
Everything else after that will be so much easier.
Oh, what? White shirts?
Black if you're doing a black shirt, whether it be a t-shirt, Dickie, put some top coat on there, coat it. Like you should be able to almost see the top coat when you're done. Yeah. Press it, put another layer of top coat on, press it again, put another layer on, at least 3 layers. When you go to put that white on, it'll pop right on and you'll be like, oh, okay, this is a lot easier.
That's a lot of process though, man.
I
How many
remember,
times
yeah,
you gotta paint it with white in order for it to pop anyway?
yeah.
Even with a heater, how long does that take you?
One stroke.
I remember in the mid 2000s, my
Hey,
my Aquaphor white was like
layer as I go.
super bright. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but I remember my Aquaphor white was like super bright, 2
It
layers.
still is.
Oh yeah.
I just
Yeah, it
looked at
still
the
is.
number.
I
It
I
ain't
still
black.
I'm still trying to run out of that new formula. So my that white's been sitting there for a while. So
Yeah,
I bought a gallon's worth. So I made a mistake by doing that.
you know, it's another technique that a lot of people don't really use a lot. Bleach. Bleach the area you're gonna paint. But then it's the process of washing the bleach out.
I
And then
know I know the screen printing in the screen printing industry. There's this stuff called discharge, but I heard it stinks, and it's
Ooh.
pretty much bleach. Does the
Oh,
same thing.
uh,
I mean, I've seen people do that where they'll bleach the shirt and then wash it and then airbrush it. So I mean,
shit. Hey, hold on, I got customers. I'm gonna have to go.
another way of
All
doing
right, man.
something. So it's up to you. How much work do
Yeah.
you want to put in it versus how much money you got paid for it? Because I know, like with this skateboard, I definitely did not get paid the amount of work I put into it, but it's okay. I made
Yeah.
that decision that
Right.
I wanted a really nice piece that this man could really talk about.
Yeah. I've been
So I mean, I don't mind investing the time. So
Yeah.
it is my reputation. So
there.
this old
I
man's reputation.
I go through that. Sometimes I get a design and I give them more than I supposed to that I when I'm getting paid.
Yeah, and I think sometimes that's good, as
More
long as
artistic.
you can
Yeah.
see it, why you're doing it. It's not just, oh well, because even doing the Mickey Mouse stuff that I do on a daily basis, I try to give a little something, something just
Okay.
so I don't look like everybody else. So when they
Okay.
have their shirt on, everybody's like, wow, where'd you get that from? Like that
Yeah.
doesn't look like the shirt I got on the boulevard. Oh, that's
Right.
all
Right.
airbrush? It's not a transfer? Like, yeah.
Wow.
So, you know, it's all about your reputation and, how you want people to
Right.
treat it, They either treat
Yeah.
you like scum or they'll be like, oh, yeah, you got to go to that guy. That guy, man, he'll hook it up. But then you also got to live up to that reputation every day.
Yeah. So today I got asked to do some 2 portraits, and this customer is a repeat customer, but now they feel like I should give them a discount.
Well, what you say is, I would love to give you a discount. That would be great. Unfortunately, with the economy the way it is, I'm not getting a discount at the grocery store. I'm not getting a discount at the pump. I'm not getting a discount on my electric bill. So I'm quite sure you understand with the way that everybody is struggling. If I gave you a discount, that would only make me struggle. So I would
Yeah.
like to stay in business so I can give you service that you always want and need. So I hope that you understand this situation that we're all in, that we're all trying to make ends meet. So are we good? Are we good? Then shake your head. Get them to
Yeah.
shake their head. There you go.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because I mean, I
It's
get
supposed to
people
be
all the time like, "Oh, do you have veterans discounts?" No. Do you have senior citizen discount? No. And they're like, "Wow, you said that kind of fast." I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, right now, I believe my prices are reasonable compared to other places. I know my rent isn't that high. I try to be reasonable for a reason. But at this juncture, if you feel that you still need a discount on top of that, then maybe I'm not the right person for you."
Yeah.
And a lot of times they back down and like, oh, okay, cool, because they've either dealt with me before or they've heard of me, or I happen to have like the best Google review. So I mean, so your work is your reputation. The better
Yeah.
you do, most of the time you will get repeat customers, but don't live off of that. Live
Yeah.
off the fact that you need to get customers every day. Every day is a marketing day. And if you don't have enough money to make ends meet, time to market some more. You know,
Right.
get on social media, start
Yeah.
talking. And it's not about like it's when you get on social media, a lot of people think, oh, I need to say buy, buy, buy. No, actually you don't. You don't have to tell people to buy stuff. You need to be on social media to be seen. You need to be on
Just be
social media
active.
so people go, oh, that guy's regular. Oh, I see his work. I like it. Let me go ahead and maybe I should talk to him. Let's see what he can do. Oh, let's mail that out. I wonder what area he's in. I mean,
Yeah.
people are going everywhere to get airbrushed now. So even if they
Right.
live in California, they don't know about the guy around the corner that does airbrushing for them. But you know what? If they see you in Texas and all they see is you in Texas and they like what you do, doesn't matter that guy's in California. They're going to send something to you.
Yeah.
Unless time
I
is an issue. Time is always an issue most of the time, then you're not going to see that money anyway.
right. I've seen more people buying those 3D shirts, those sublimational 3D shirts. They're all like blasted with like pictures and
Yeah.
backgrounds and wings. That's what I've
Yeah, I
seen
know.
more. I'm sure that's replacing airbrush, but that's kind of like
But I mean, think about it this way. If they're buying sublimation, they were going to buy sublimation before they thought about airbrush
mm,
because there's something about the look of it. It's a commercial look. When you
okay.
do airbrush, it's more of a craft. It's more of an art to it. And the
Yeah.
people who buy airbrush are people who want something that feels kind of craftsy, feels like it's original. Not a whole bunch of people got it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Versus people who are getting the sublimation, it's like I want a real finished, polished look, and I don't care if it looks like 100 other shirts on the market.
Hmm.
So maybe your thing should be, hey, I'm glad that you're getting that, but I specialize and give you something that's original. Even if I did the same Mickey Mouse for you as I did for this other person, there's still going to be different Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
When you do that sublimation, are you going to be able to put your name on it? When you do the sublimation, are you going to be able to change all the colors? Granted, it might be more of a pain in the butt, but I mean, one of those things where it kind of helps people think about, well, what am I really getting?
Right.
Especially if you talk about your salesperson who's sitting at the counter who interacts with the people. They need to know things like that and need to have those things on deck and ready to fire when it comes necessary. You
Yeah.
know, because again, a lot of people will come to me and they go, "Oh, well, do you do the heat transfers like I see on the boulevard?" Like, no, I don't. Not one, not a zero, not a half of one. Not trying to get into it. I'm setting myself apart, and I tell them that I'm setting myself apart. I want to look physically different from the guys on the boulevard. So when you ask for an airbrush shirt, you will get an airbrush shirt.
Nice.
Yeah. Whatever.
And that works for me. That works for
Hmm.
me. Doesn't mean it works for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, what works for one person don't always work for another person. Beat me ahead. I'm running through the messages. I don't know if y'all can see them on the screen. Probably said
Slowly
V
but surely.
had two
Yeah.
VLs, 89 and 95. Ghost is always watching. Hey, Ghost, did that lady contact you, Ghost? I sent her your number. Louise, yep, all mine were VLs too. All facts. When I airbrush movie shirts, I had people wearing printed shirts buying those. Plus, there's always a party somewhere. Yeah, true story. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
But the thing is, you got to find you got to understand what you want for your look to set you apart from the other guys who airbrush.
Mm.
Because all of us do different things and all of us have different looks.
True.
So like Ralph. Ralph is heavy into characters. He
Hmm.
does a lot of characterizations. He is Mr. Man of multi-talents.
a lot of stuff.
Um,
And I do a lot of stuff.
I have more of a customers, which I can't say I'm making tons of money from it, but I mean I'm able to live from it. Plus, I do a lot of the beachwear souvenir stuff, and my beachwear souvenir stuff, I try to make it look more colorful.
Mm.
So I may not be as colorful as the guys in Panama City, but I'm definitely more colorful than the guys here in Myrtle Beach.
Mm-hmm.
So
You have to
I'm more
to stand out.
professional than the guys in Myrtle Beach, and I would probably compete on the same level as the guys in Panama City. But I'm in Myrtle Beach. So it gives people who come to Myrtle Beach like, oh, well, I was going to buy a shirt from them, but like I saw yours and I like, ooh, I really like the way it looks. You know,
Yeah,
so
you got
it's working with your customer and knowing your base.
because if everybody cookie cutter and everybody's stuff look the same, then but if
Yeah.
you add just something small or simple, different than theirs, like more vibrant, like Herbert said, than everybody else's, then you will stand out more than from everybody else.
I get people that bring me like other people's artwork,
Everybody get
and
that.
Yeah,
yeah,
even I get that.
Yeah, everybody
yeah,
get
and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm gonna make it my own
Well,
style.
and that's perfect. That's perfect to understand. And that's what you have to do to educate your customers. Hey, that's great. I'll do a design that's very similar to that. I just want to let you know. You know, I'm not that person. I will emulate it as best I can. And most people are fine with that. They're
like
fine because that's their expectation. I at least want the minimum for this to
Hmm.
be resembling this
yeah, I
because
gotta
I want to show out. I want to show off and show out.
you
So
should have
if,
got it
if
from
they
this
can't
person.
show out when you're done, then you know you got to look at what you're doing and say, you know, why did that customer feel that way? You know, what is it that I could have done, you know, to make this more palatable for that customer?
True.
Because I mean, I've had some failures, some great, some great failures, colossal fails, but you know, those are the ones you learn from. You know, it wasn't a failure as much as it was a lesson, and you just got to say, okay, well, what did I learn from this? What was it that I didn't do?
You gotta
So
Yeah.
learn from it. You definitely gotta learn from your failure.
I remember when I first started, I would offer like the whole shirt airbrushed, and as my skills, well, me thinking my skills were getting better, my designs would get smaller, and for the same price. And I would think, I thought, okay, well, that's gonna I'm gonna make the same sales like before, but I guess people noticed it, and they're like, I mean, they kind of want the like more painting, the more the shirt all.
well, as far as size of design, I've always made my stencils around a 15 by 15 square.
Hmm.
And probably by the time I cut it down, it's probably fitting more into like a 13 by 13 square to fit across the boards. We're talking about from a youth extra small all the way
Hmm.
up to about a 4X. Now, I do have a few stencils that are much bigger than that, which aren't kid related, so I don't expect a child to order it. So, I mean, that's the way I've designed mine. I have some that are specifically designed for kids, which, of course, an adult probably is not going to order them, you
Right.
know, and some that are more adult oriented, where it's primarily like I don't know, a couple scene. Like you're not going to put that on a kid's shirt. So,
Right.
like a couple design, you can make that a little bit bigger, so that by the time it gets onto a 2X, 4X, it doesn't look like it's lost on there and it still fills it out good.
Yeah.
But again, that's knowing what's coming in to where you're located. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I get a lot of older people because it's a flea market. Young people typically don't go into flea markets like they used to.
True.
So now it's
Yeah.
older people, and with the older people, they want a design for their grandchild primarily. They want something that says Peepaw or Meemaw on it, or they want a souvenir. Oh, we went to the beach. It's baby's first vacation, first beach vacation. Oh, we're down here. It's the whole family. We're all together. So I
Okay.
mean, you got to keep all that in mind. If I'm doing 75% beach signs and 20% cartoons, 75% of my designs better be beach signs.
Hmm.
And then the other 20 are cartoons. So, and then from there, whatever the percentage is. Because I do pay attention, because I actually have all my information digitized because I have a digital register. So it gives me information as far as each design and what is sold. So the question is whether or not, if a design isn't selling, get it out of there, put something else in its place. And then, of course, as soon as you get rid of it, that's when 5 people are going to go, hey, do you have this design? And they'll describe it, and it's like, I had that up there. Why didn't y'all come last year when I had it up there? God dang it.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the name?
I mean, because when Rick and Morty was popping, it won't popping here in Myrtle Beach.
Oh, dang.
These old boys weren't buying no Rick and Morty. They could care less about Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty was up for 2 years before I finally sold a Pickle Rick.
What the fuck's a Pickle Rick?
Oh, it's Rick, the scientist. He turned himself into a pickle in order to avoid a therapy session, because he didn't want to see he didn't want to participate in a therapy session, which then by the end he ended up being in the therapy session. It's one of their better episodes, actually.
I guess you gotta.
So that's what that is, huh?
Yeah.
I guess you gotta watch it to.
It came with Chino stencils, and I'm like, what is this thing?
Okay, so for example, all right, do you remember Doc and Morty, Back to the Future?
Yeah.
It's those two characters, but instead of time traveling, they dimension travel.
Oh, okay.
So it's funny. I think it's really good. You know, for those who are in the 420, it is hilarious. So I mean,
yeah.
But if you don't, that's fine. You still can enjoy it. It is not a child's movie, so if you have children, especially small children, teenagers should be okay. But small kids, no. The language is a little rough.
So now that what's his name? Shoot, I'm messing up.
Chino?
No, the guy that created Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's all over. Yeah, it's all over the internet. So I'm thinking that, you know, more people are gonna be interested in like Dragon Ball Z characters again.
Probably.
I mean, they'll
never stopped.
Yeah.
Well, most of them are. I say this: as far as me in my area getting Dragon Ball is very rare, and then it's typically maybe 3 customers a year that might get it, and then we're talking about out of the 3, 1 is going to want the custom cover my shirt with Dragon Ball Z. You know, but other than that, I got a Goku, a Vegeta up, and they barely sell. And One Piece sold a little bit, even with the Netflix series. But again, I think it's more of my area.
Okay.
You know, it's more of a. All right, I'm gonna say it, redneck area. It's redneck area, low end of tourism. They don't have a lot of money, and because of the crowd that typically comes into the flea market is an older crowd. They're looking for something for grandkids, not teenagers. So it's not teenagers, little kids. So like I'll do the Elmos and the Dr. McStuffin stuff all day long.
You know, Snaggletooth Trump County, huh?
Oh, I have them all over my counter, and I really was tempted to put a very negative Trump sample up, but I was like, nah, I don't want to deal with that all day.
Nah, you get them all day long. 2024.
Well, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Okay, I'm gonna go get something to eat, y'all. I gotta go.
Okay.
All right, man.
We didn't stop you.
I noticed y'all kept going. Y'all doing good. I took orders and everything else.
I ran out of questions.
Oh, I don't have any questions, so I'm just pretending like I'm looking at this thing like I know what I'm doing.
Shit, I got.
No, I really appreciate it.
No problem.
You know,
no problem.
I'm gonna go back and
I
look
wish
at
you the
it.
best of luck, young man.
Thank you.
All right, reference.